Hi ladies, thank you for being so accommodating, and sorry we ran over a bit, a lot. So we're going to talk about page 18 is the first page that we missed. So wardrobe management. So you want to have quality hangers. You want to make certain that you've got decent hangers. Particularly if we've got jackets, they want to have that thicker hanger, almost like that wooden hanger, so that we don't end up with jackets that are wrong here. I really like the textured hangers, the ones that have the fabric on them, because it stops things sliding off. So quality hangers, enough space. If you go into a cheap shop, let's say an op shop or somewhere like Kmart, everything's really squished together. You want to have enough hat space in your wardrobe that you can actually see your clothes, so you can actually move them through. So if you go to an expensive shop, they've got what they call the swoosh factor. You can actually see the clothes. It will help them hang better, but it also helps you see what's in your wardrobe. File your clothes. So we want to have all our jackets together. We want to have our skirts together. We want to have our trousers next to our skirts preferably, so that we've got our available bottoms. If we've got shorts that we hang, have them as there as well. We want to have all our tops together. We want to have our dresses together. I personally have my dresses and my long sleeve dresses together, because quite often I'll still wear long sleeves when I'm working in the studio. Obviously, if you've got that winter summer thing, you can move things out, but if there's a chance that it can move between the two, I would keep it in your wardrobe, but have it filed. And the reason is you're going, I want to wear that top, and you can immediately see all the bottoms you can wear. I want to wear those bottoms, you can see all your available tops. So file it. Pending wardrobe. You've come home, let's imagine you've been out for an hour. You think your clothes are clean, you're not 100% certain because it's dark, maybe you've had a couple of drinks. You want to file it somewhere. So you want to put it on a pending wardrobe. So put it over the back of the chair, somewhere to air. So when we wear our clothes, they have a moisture and a dampness to them. So we're putting that straight back into our wardrobe. Now let's imagine that we've been in a curry house. They've got the smell as well. We're putting that straight back in the wardrobe. Whereas if we allow them to air, when we put them back in the morning, we just check they're in a good condition, that they've not got a stain or anything on, pop them away, and we'll be really good. Full length mirror, we discussed this earlier in the day. You need a full length mirror. You have no idea what you look like unless you have a full length mirror. So buy one and use it every day, not just occasionally, every single time you're going out. Otherwise, you've got no idea what you look like. Prune regularly. Go through your wardrobe regularly, at least every 6 months. Is it still in good condition? Are you still wearing it? Does it suit your lifestyle any longer? Good idea is to put your hangers in. I normally would do them that way, and then as you reuse things, put the hanger them back in that way. It gives you an idea of how often your clothes are being worn. So prune regularly. If something needs to go, it needs to go. That's when you're writing it down, or if you think it's going to need to go in 6 months, write it down. Mark everything out of 10. The aim is to have everything is an 8, 9 and 10. Now, depending where you're starting, that might take some time to get there. So if most of your things are 1s, 2s and 3s at the moment, we need to be moving them out or starting to make them work. But 8, 9s and 10s might be too far. So sometimes you do have to step it to get up to there. But really, you should love everything in your wardrobe. It should love you. And they actually should love each other as well. Discard things that don't work. Give them away. Get rid of them. Don't let them take space up in your wardrobe. If it's a sizing thing and you think you're going to get in them, put them in a different wardrobe. Put them underneath the bed in a suitcase. Just get them out of your wardrobe. Recycle things. Can you dye it? Can you have it altered? Could you change the buttons? What could you do to make that work? Can you recycle it in somewhere? And sell it. You know, there's so many people that want to buy clothes. So pop them on Facebook Marketplace. There's a really good chance it will sell. Grooming. We all need invisible underwear. So nobody really wants to see your underwear. I really know none of you, definitely my princesses, we really don't want to see it. Natural classics, definitely not. Dramatics, you might play with showing a bit, a strap or something, but probably not. It's better not. Have bras professionally fitted. Obviously, if you're near me, I do bra fitting, but make certain you're having them professionally fitted by someone who actually knows what they're doing. Use flesh-coloured underwear under light clothes. White shows up. You can also get some really clever stuff. Intymo's got some stuff that's actually quite dark, that won't show up. So it's about the bra, but generally the nude stuff is the best one. You know, it very rarely shows up. If it's very skin tone, it generally will work. Plan hair, nails and beauty appointments regularly in advance. You kind of know when you next need it. Let them book in. You can always tweak and alter it if need be, but when somebody says let's book your next hair appointment, book it. We're all busy. It suddenly gets hard. When I got in the hairdresser the other day, she had 3 appointments left between last week and February. People book up, particularly if they're any good. Formal dressing. So this is that real business stuff. Aim for professional and current. So current can be a nod to the styles if they're working for you, or the colours of the season of what's going on if it's working for you. So try and have something that's got some current if you're in that real professional bit. Jacket's your most formal look. You're going to see a video in a minute that has all that stuff. Tailored dress or structured cardigan. Now, you've also got to be aware of personality. So Tegan, I'm going to talk on you particularly. If you weren't very corporate, you might not be able to play too much into dramatic. You might then have to do a bit of a compromise. You probably can do it in the role you're in. So just be aware that sometimes, particularly my bigger personalities, they have to compromise a little bit if they're in that real corporate level. Trousers, if appropriate for business, should be tailored, not tight. We don't really want to see too much tight things in work. Never wear perfume in a professional setting. I'm often asked about this. So people have likes and dislikes to perfume. So imagine that you were going for a job with somebody and they just don't like your perfume. Let's say you wear Poison, one of the heavy perfumes. They don't like it. That could be the decider between you and the next person. If the next person's equally qualified and they don't wear perfume that makes the person go, ugh, that could be literally the tipping point. The other one is a lot of people are very allergic these days. So we have a lot of people allergic to perfume. We have a lot of people with asthma. So for me, if any of you had strong perfume on today, I would have struggled to breathe. It would have been a small room and it would have been very uncomfortable. So always think about, do people like it? Can they breathe? Are they allergic to it? So like I said, a lot of people are, so safe is always better. And the other one is perfume evokes emotional responses. So what perfume is actually doing is trying to get your scent out to other people. Which is, people say they're wearing perfume for themselves, they're actually wearing it to put their scent out. Now, it has emotional things. So people can be attracted or repelled by a perfume depending on their emotional triggers and the connection it gives. So imagine you've been beaten up by somebody and he just happens to wear a certain perfume. That aftershave will trigger an emotional response for you. Imagine you're working with somebody and you're just about to get a job with somebody and his ex-wife, cheating, lying ex-wife, just happens to wear your perfume. He's a man. He's not going to know that it's your perfume that makes him go, something I don't trust about this woman. There's just something that's feeling off. So safe is better. Now, the other one is you're working with him and you happen to wear the same perfume as his mistress. Now, he might not necessarily have the thoughts about you, but he might be having thoughts triggered by that perfume. None is always safer. In your personal life, knock yourself out. Wear as much perfume as you want in your personal life. Well, not drown yourself in it, but because that's your personal life. It's just your business life I'm talking about. Always wear makeup. So for work, you should always be wearing makeup. Minimum is a little bit of mascara, probably some eyeliner and some lippy. Minimum. Lipstick gives people the voice that they need, particularly in that corporate arena. Anytime you need to be heard and need to be listened to, wear lippy. If I take my lipstick away, I've lost my voice. I've basically muted myself. When I put it back, you focus on my lips. You're focusing on what I'm saying. So even those in you within teaching areas and working with kids, think about that because it is actually important. It doesn't need to be as strong as I am. When I teach, it is always strong. But even having some will add that little level of authority. Avoid visual distractions, dangly earrings, noisy bracelets, that stuff. Particularly if you are in Zoom, earrings where people are doing this at. Anything that's moving, that's jangling, You know, try and avoid that in work. Neutral tights, no bare legs. This is quite an old-fashioned thing, but it depends on your industry. So my client that's the bank owner, she has to wear stockings and ties. A lot of accountants will, sometimes people in the city will. If I was going to be presenting to a group of bankers, I would wear tights or stockings. Most of the time I won't wear them at all, but occasionally they are needed. So it depends on your industry and whether that's appropriate. Closed shoes, no sandals. So nobody really wants to see your feet. So work, it is better to have closed shoes rather than showing off your feet. Obviously, if you are going to be show off your feet, make sure they're groomed, make sure they look good. Yeah. And briefcase or handbag. So if a man walks into a room, he generally will walk in with maybe just a folio. So he's, excuse my iPad, he walks in, he's doing this. A woman tends to have a handbag, and maybe we've got a computer bag, and we're juggling, and we've got barriers. So particularly if we've got handbags, sometimes we have to move it before we can greet. A man's just clear and effortless. He's just doing that. So really be aware of, are you looking over cluttered? Have you got the kitchen sink with you? If you have to have a work bag with a computer in it, think about having a little clutch that you can then leave the bag, but go to the toilet with your clutch if you need that stuff, or you go to the coffee shop with your clutch. So always think about that. So that is that page, and like I said, I've already got videos for the other two, so I will flick you the other ones. Okay, bye.